Hello, everybody, and good evening. Ever wonder? I don't know, maybe a lot of you out there, I just wonder if, have you ever been just the kind that just has just sat and observed, or maybe even stood, but you would just observe, you would wait, you would see, you would just, and not exactly take action? I've taken some action in my life, of course, and, still do in some cases. But tonight, I think I'm on the topic of just, not exactly questioning why I do that, but naturally, I think that's just what most of us humans do. We just are in a state of just, we're not necessarily at a pause, but it feels like you're on your own wait list for whatever reason. Meaning wait list, as in you're waiting for something, and you observe it very slowly and carefully and quietly and even quickly, and it's like enough to even do something about it, whatever it is. And yet it's just like, why don't I just do this? Why don't I just do it? Just do it, right? Instead of it sounding like a pushy way, right? I kind of want to be on the, probably the next video I'll talk about. I sort of made this up. I don't know. It may just be a thing. I haven't read much up about it yet, but I kind of came up with this idea or theory of the me, myself, and I syndrome. And until there's, I don't know, actual true evidence that there is such a thing, I guess I made it up. Maybe. But so yeah, I don't know. I think there comes a time in some of our lives, maybe, I'm just speaking in terms of me right now, giving the I statement, right? Not you, no fingers pointed whatsoever. I would hate that too. My defense would go up. Absolutely. It's natural. But me, myself. And lately I've sort of been keeping track of what it actually is. It's me, not, or it's self that's doing this, that's trying to dominate me. That part of me that usually is used to making the decisions and problem solving, where the frontal cortex of the brain, that part. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you see, I'm knowing enough to just come on here and just maybe just blah 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 a little bit, right? There's no rules here whatsoever, but yeah, lately I've just find myself, I don't know, just writing things down and just journaling, even just my own thoughts, like, or so, but also other kinds of information that I collect. And it's helpful, it is. Somehow I kind of use those, the information on, you know, whatever it is that I'm still, well, still highly trying to experience about myself. Anxiety is one of the things that I've been taking the sessions on and on and on and on. They're repeated, thank goodness, under my health care of Kaiser. Earlier this evening, I started taking one on depression, a webinar on that, and I will get to do that one as repeated as much as I want to now too. Whether it's anxiety, depression, or just learning assertiveness, or whatever it is, whatever, I don't want to say levels, but wherever on the spectrum I am on those things besides autism, it's like, you know, I could give myself a number, but I also could, I don't know, formulate it in, I don't, well, in colors, like anxiety being red, depression being blue, and assertiveness being purple, that kind of thing. I guess there's this measurement, yeah, of things that we find out where we're at on the scale. Um, and then somehow it helps me figure out maybe how to identify myself. What else can I put out there where it's not just me, having the professional side or my artistic side, and works, you know, workability, right? But also, how else? I mean, I could identify myself as in well-being and mental wellness and that kind of thing too. It doesn't just. I guess I'm the type that I don't always think about work. I don't always think about um what's important is that I have a job or two that I get a well along on, and and they work for me. And that's basically the thing too with all these, notions and research and education on other things, that how you kind of try to define it all, um I guess, I don't know, expression's been more important to me so much than of words use are really. Um, and as long as one is heard, and even if they're not heard, even if but it's put out there, and it's one of the, not just the only bravest thing to do. I feel in my case it's necessary in some ways for me, myself, and maybe for all of you, maybe for anybody who needs to hear this. So, without obligation, without pressure, because that's what I'm about. Um Anyways, yeah, so just being quiet and sitting and observing has been my thing lately, I guess. And I do take action, of course, but I well, there's also a thing too that I recently saw this blog on, or vlog on, why do most on the spectrum, I don't always necessarily do this, but why do we wait till the last minute on certain things? I felt it was something I would never really imagine myself coming around to doing, but it's interesting. Somehow it has to be aligned with our interest, aligned with our values and behavior, like all at once, in order for action to be taken. Now, when you put someone else's needs over your own, I mean that's one thing, and that's one thing. You're in the middle of something, and somehow you get a call from someone that, oh my God, they need help, like on something immediately. I would certainly stop what I'm doing and do so. And see any emergency trash that needed to be taken out, I would. If somehow a loved one of mine fell or something, like, yeah, I would certainly stop what I'm doing and go upstairs or downstairs to wherever they are, wherever the impact happened. And so, but when you don't have to worry about those things, when you're not in that situation, as we get down to it, when we finally go to that place where it helps us be present, and yeah, you most call it being centered, most call it grounding, I mean, whatever you want to call it. It's basically just reminding yourself too that, yeah, this is you. I mean, you have I really gotten around to just saying, yeah, I sometimes I let myself get this way, sometimes I make it hard. And I think that the important fact is that, I want to say it and not have someone else say it. Otherwise, it just takes extra fucking harder. It takes much longer to even recover from that. As the word, as as ridiculous as that sounds, but it's true. But deep down, when you're centered and you just step away and you get back into yourself and you're present, the, the whole time, the entire time, your whole life, it was always you. It was always me. It was always ourselves making our own decisions. And whatever tools, skills that we ask for or want to develop, we're taught it. We learn it. Just before the journey, it's really up to us to do the work. And that's true. So I could sit here now, uh, maybe, not always, not every day I do this, but right now, sitting here now, um, not exactly too comfortable, but I'm here, um, saying that, yeah, I have been hard on myself. There are some things that been no fault of my own or so, but there are some things I have made hard on me, and I've made things hard, and that's okay. At least I'm aware of it. I accept that. And so now from here, where do I want to go from here? Do I want to do I want to start changing that, Am I okay the way I am? Or do I just want it to be just intermediate and just going at a pace which is the rightful thing, um in my opinion. So anyway, yeah, I suppose that's it for now, and I'll see you next video.